product that you want to sell. You have your service that you want to sell. It's not just enough to create the social media handles. Okay, you need to do a bit more, and you need to understand how it's going to leverage across your corporate communication or your communication as a brand person to your audience. Ow. All right, so what are the current challenges that they faced? We now have multiple data sources. We have information coming from Twitter. We have information coming from Facebook. You can even have information coming from WhatsApp. All right? And it makes it difficult for the brand to control what is being said. But the truth is that there's a conversation about that brand that is happening outside the brand control. And I'll use an example for you very recently. How many people are aware of the door that fell off the plane recently? Yes? Which airline? Don't let's mention his name, leave it. All right? But immediately that happened, what happened? The airline came out quickly and said, nothing like that happened. Our planes were safe. The plane landed safely. Nothing. But in less than 30 minutes, what happened? There was a video flying around saying, this is the plane. These were the passengers in the plane. And you could see what? That there was no door after the plane landed. What happened? The next day, the airline had to say what? Actually, we are going to investigate what happened. In the past, they could have denied it for so long, and you wouldn't know, because there was no social media. Okay? And they can take care of it quietly. Now, why am I saying this? It's for you to realize that those of us that are here intend to go on to e-commerce. You are going to be facing the same challenges as these examples that we're showing. And it's important for you to be prepared, to know what to do, and to know how to do it. So, like I said, customers are taking control of the conversations about the brand and about the image of the company. As soon as you get online, if you're not careful, you will see that customers begin to take control of the conversation of you. Yes. Let me use an example. Yesterday I was at an ATM. I needed cash because where I was going to did not have a POS machine. And they started loading the machines with cash. How many of you have experienced that before? How long does it take? Forever, right? Now I became agitated. And we were only 3 there when it first started. By the time the ATMs were coming back up, we were almost 30. And I smiled. I said, you see, this bank will say we are what? Efficient, fast, and friendly. But at that point, they were not efficient, they were not fast, and they were not friendly. I'll tell you why. They had 3 ATMs. It's not taken by that. That conversation will go viral in a matter of 30 minutes to 1 hour. Okay, so it's important for you to understand how social media is going to affect your business, your e-commerce business, when you put it online, and what to do with it. It's like I said, it's not enough. I'll give you a story of somebody who's selling food. And she said, I want website. People will come to my website to order food. I heard they open Facebook. Please, open Facebook. Fine. Guess what? The person who was doing that was an offline person. What does that mean? It means that the person doesn't have immediate access to their email, neither do they have access to their Facebook. So what was happening? Immediately they ran the adverts in Facebook, people clicked like, I want to order, went to the site, placed orders. But the owner of the business did not see the orders until 48 hours later, because that's when they go on to check. What happened? Even though in a matter of 2 weeks, they got 9,000 prospects that were ready to order food from them, yeah? They were always late. By how many hours? 48 hours, okay? So what I'm saying is what you're going to do is going to be affected by social media, and you need to understand it. It's not enough to open ABC Nigeria Instagram page and do nothing or not keep an eye on it. Okay? So it's also a tool that you use to stay ahead of the competition. Why? Because you are getting multiple information, multiple insights from different sources. And if you are smart and wise and you work hard at it, you can realize opportunities much faster than the traditional way. The traditional way would be to do what? Go and do market research. Abi? 6 months, 9 months, then do product development, then do product testing, then do test marketing. All right? But all that insight you can gain within a few hours by using the right tools. Okay. So, trendy land. That's where we are now in the e-commerce market. That's where we are now online. That's where we are now on the internet. And what is trendy land? Everything is trending now. A lot of things are trending. In fact, the Twitter app has what you call Now Trending. And Now Trending is a list of what? Topics that are being currently discussed at that time. Okay? And that's Now Trending. And that's trendy land for us. Trending land is going to affect you or your business, whether you like it or not. So if you are not able to keep up with trendy land, you'll be left behind. Sorry. Okay. Let me go back a bit. So the truth, the customer is changing. The traditional customer was you and I a few years ago, where you wanted to buy products and services based on what? Utility and price. Utility is how useful it is to you, how satisfied it is, and what price you're willing to pay for it. Okay? So we communicated with companies we're dealing with by letter, phone call, occasional email if they had the facility to do that. We've already discussed that. But that customer has changed today because of social media. And you have heard a lot about that between yesterday and today. You have heard Jumia and all the other opportunities. Even in the last session, you have heard how you need to position yourself and what you need to do to those businesses. The customer sees control of the business ecosystem, and it was never the same. And that's the truth. With all due respect to the e-commerce providers here, they found recently, some of them have gone recently to say, you know what, we're not doing pay on delivery again. True? Some of them are not doing pay on delivery again. Why? The real truth is that pay on delivery had its problems. By the time the customer has packaged your order and sent it to you, it was probably a week late, but you could have gone across the road to buy it. So when they bring it to you 1 week late, what do you say? I don't want again. Now, it's cost them time and it's cost them money. All right? And since you haven't paid, you don't care. Why did that happen? It happened because initially you were paying, but the goods were coming very late. So you decided, you know what, if I hadn't paid this money, I would have gone to buy it. So you now said, no worry, I will do pay on delivery so that anytime it comes, I will do. And by the time you did what? You did ask for pay on delivery, it came very late, you still had your money, you had gone across the road and bought something else. I have quite a number of examples of this. But now that's why the customer has said, you know what, we're not doing pay on delivery again. You wait till we bring the product to you. But that's the power that social media has now developed over the other traditional media, over companies and conversations around their brands. It's what you want that now happens. It's the way you behave that now dictates the way they would respond. Okay, so these are the numbers, and they're pretty, I've used pretty dated numbers just to give you an idea of what was happening almost 10 years ago. All right, so I've quoted some reports from some research houses. The fastest growing sector for internet use is communities. That's what? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr. Those are the fastest growing areas on the internet. Okay? Member communities reach more internet than email. They do. They reach a lot more people than email. Even though you still use email to communicate, but if you wanted to reach some needed to change. You that you're going into social media, you're going on to e-commerce, need to understand that you're going to be facing those same challenges And you need to understand why they happened and what to do about them. I'm getting old. Okay, so there's a difference between user-generated content consumers and user-generated content creators. All right? Who are user-generated content creators? The people that do what? Post blogs. Post pictures. They generate the content. A lot of those people. And the content consumers are some of us who do what? Just consume that. You go and look at it. You say, have you seen this thing? Go to Twitter. Go to Facebook. Go to, yeah? So, that percentage was as far back as 2013. Look at the growth rates. All right? Basically, the content creators and content consumers are the fastest growing segments of the commerce model or the internet model. All right. So, for companies, what they found out was they needed to sharpen their focus on what? On those social media customers. Why? Now, this is very important. If you understand, and I'll use the fast-moving consumer goods industry. The fast-moving consumer goods industry, they play what you call the long game. What did I say? They play the long game. So it's not about the profits they can earn here, but about how many customers they can get that will begin to buy their products in volume. Almost 10 years ago, I was privileged to be on the plane with the MD of Dufil Pharma, the people that make Indomie. And I'm saying this because it is Ibadan. He said to me, Indomie is doing very well across the nation, except for places like the Southwest, especially Ibadan. And he said, the truth is they like their amala over Indomie. And that, yeah, he said it. He said, the truth is they like their amala over Indomie. And he talked about a competing brand at that time. And he said that competing brand will not stand the test of time because the DNA is commodities and not fast-moving consumer goods. And he said, look, it will take time for Ibadan people to do what? To embrace Indomie. But we are ready to change. We are ready to wait. All right? Today, that consumption pattern and consumption behavior has improved drastically. They have continued to maintain their dominant position here. All right? But the important thing to note is that they were ready to make that change. So also with their marketing and their customer relationship management, social media has forced them to say, look, you need to focus better. And where is that focus? On the younger generation, because the younger generation are the ones that consume and are on social media. Okay, so globally, you see the Fortune 100 companies. These are the 100, it's a classification of the 100 leading companies in the world. And then they found out that, look, they needed to do a lot about social media. And so the survey showed that a lot of them were using Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and blogs. Okay? Of all of them, at least one of them used one of those services, and companies using all of them. But what was important? For them, it was important to get onto that platform so that they do what? They can listen to what is happening, because conversation is happening every minute of the day. And that is important for you, because as soon as you put your business online, as soon as you have customers, whether you are on Facebook or Twitter or not, what will happen? If you are happy, you will talk about it. If you are not happy, you will talk about it. I'll give you a little example. I bought a generator from a company that sells generator, a big company that sells generator, and in 2.5 months, the company went bad. The generator went bad. So I sent it back to them, and they said, they will fix it. If they don't fix it, they will change it. And I said, But what happened? After 5 months, I got a call randomly saying, sir, we are unable to fix that generator. We're going to send you a new one. Please send us your address. All right? And the next week, I got a brand new generator. That's not the story. The story was I was so pleased with that response that I tweeted, I must commend company X, Y, and Z for being able to do this, at least replace a generator for me and keeping their word. And I tweeted that out. But guess what? Within 3 hours of that tweet, all right, the company called me back to say thank you. Why? Because they were monitoring the community. Okay? So the whole essence of what I'm saying, you need to keep in mind. That conversation is going to happen, whether you like it or not. So you better be prepared. And I said, it's beyond just creating these things, but developing a system in your organization that lays over your marketing plan with social media. Okay? So I know the favorite marketing plan in Nigeria is what? Who knows? The favorite marketing plan in Nigeria is, I like these flowers, so people will like it. You go to Dubai, these shoes are fine, let me buy it. The ladies will buy it. It's based on your own perception. But the truth is that they may like it and they may not like it. Now, what happens after you buy those shoes? I've seen somebody say, you sold me bad shoes on Instagram. And the person says, that's life. Take it or leave it. And this person said, don't worry, I know what to do. So an hour later, the person posts, please beware of this particular person. Yeah? He's a fraudster and a thief. He doesn't care what he sells to you, all right, as long as he gets his money. And she said, I quote him. All right? Some hours later, the person got a phone call. Babe, why you do that now? All right? So that conversation is happening. That's all I'm here to tell, that conversation is happening. You have a marketing plan. You need to overlay social media on top of that marketing plan. Who creates the contents for you on social media? How do you use YouTube, Facebook, Twitter? How do you use it for... Who was the person exporting Gary? Is the person here? How do you use that to export your Gary? How do you use that to monitor the conversation that is going around concerning what you are exporting? Is your market there? If your market is not there, all well and good, but you need to keep an eye on it. So that will happen, and that definitely is going to impact your business. Okay, so will companies succeed? And that report said that by 2010, more than half of those companies had established an online community. Many needed to manage it as an agent of change. If they did not do so, ultimately it would have eroded customer value. For a lot of companies, rushing into social computing initiatives would, without clearly defined benefits for both company and the customer, would be the biggest cause of failure. I said if they did not do so, what will happen? They would have lost, eroded customer value. Let me just say a little bit about customer value so you understand. There's a tailoring organization that has mixed uniforms for schools. Yeah? So parents come and say, I want 5 uniforms for my child. They take the uniforms and then come back and say, which account will I write that to? For the accountants, you know that's accounts, return back. I said to that person, this student is in JS1. If you make an average of 5,000 naira per student per year, assuming, how much do you project to earn from that student in the time he's in secondary school? Any idea? It's 5 times 6. 5,000 naira times 6 years. They do GS1 to GS3, SS1 to SS3. Now, discount it. Say the students will not buy new uniform in SS3 because they are leaving anyway, and in SS1. That is the value that that customer means to you. Okay? Now, what happened? WhatsApp social media took over. Don't go to this company. If you have a problem, what will happen? They will not help you. And they had a PTA group in WhatsApp that the tailor was not a part of. So the second year, what happened? They didn't see customers and were wondering why. Why didn't they know? because they were not part of the conversation that is happening. So it's very important that you understand that you need to do that, and you need to do what? Ensure that it enables you to do what? Enhance your customer value. All right, so CRM, big name, customer relationship management, how you relate with your customers. Social CRM is what? How you engage with your customers over social media. And so we've laid it around like this. You'd see your role changes immediately from only your customer service representatives to whom? To all your employees. So those of you that think that, okay, you have a small shop of 5 people and it's only you that manage the social media account, that's fine. What happens the day you are, God forbid, you are sick in the hospital and you have 4 people that will continue? And it's that day that a problem happens and is on social media and has been spreading like wildfire. What happens? You won't know about it until you come back from the hospital. And by then it might be too late. Okay? So your role in that schedule means that you have to be able to get all your employees to engage. The previous role used to be process-centric. It's now what? Conversation-centric. You need to know what is being said. Either it is good or it is bad. All right? Contact management now moves from what? Contact management to what? Community management. So you need to understand how to deal. And we'll look at a few case examples. You have your well-defined channels becoming dynamic and evolving. So they used to have the channels of, especially the manufacturers. What would they have? They make the good, send it to the distributor. The distributor sells it to whom? The dealer. The dealer sells it to whom? The retailer. And then us as customers will go and buy. But today, what's happening? The channels of sales are evolving. Because you want to increase your channel of sale, that's why you have come to an e-commerce expo. So you treat your e-commerce business as another channel. Okay? And that's what is important at this time. Before you had periodic customer connection. All right? What was that? Newsletter. Abi? Marketing, advertising. Yeah? Recently, a brand changed the design of their canned drink. Eh? I know we are very skeptical people in Nigeria. So somebody bought the new brand drink and said, they are now counterfeiting this brand though. After about a week, the company's Twitter account now said, no. What has happened? We have redesigned the drink, and it is still the same one. If they were not on that channel, they wouldn't know. Okay? So we used to have simple transactions before. What do you want? Bread and ewa going. Where's your money? Take. Collect. Now, we have complex relationships, and I'll show you. Okay, this was a graph of how there's a difference between Facebook and Google. Who knows the difference? Google.com and Facebook.com. One is a search engine. You just go there to search for information. I'm not talking about their other products. And Facebook is what? A community. Yes? Good. So look at the growth between the difference in the growth patterns of both websites. You can see that that community is growing. Today, I think Facebook has about 4 billion people registered. We're only 7 billion on the planet, so we're not plenty. And Facebook has 4 billion registered customers, which includes you and I. All right? So those communities are important to you. That's what I'm trying to emphasize here today. I looked at the topic fragile and agile, and it's way above our heads here. It's for the defined Coca-Colas of this world. But the important thing is that it is still very fragile on this side of it, and agile on the other side of it. Thank you. Okay, so Betty White. very popular American. And she's a very witty person. She's also a comedic person. Now, the social media was able to get her on NBC. NBC is a very popular television channel in the US. And they have a popular program called Saturday Night Live. And that Saturday Night Live was run by David Letterman. And some people on Facebook, somebody just thought, it would be nice to get Betty White on Saturday Night Live. And this is how it happened. There was a conversation happening on Facebook that said Betty White to host Saturday Night Live. Please? It was just a Facebook post by some random person. But NBC was listening on Facebook. And that conversation became Saturday Night Live, May 8th, Betty White there. That happened because a conversation happened and the company was watching and listening and then reacted based on that. Oh, these people want it. Okay, it's a good idea. Let's put it. Before, what will happen is the producers of the program that will say, who are we going to put next to, let's try Alibaba. But here, these people are the people that will watch Betty White. And they didn't mind. And by starting a conversation about it, it eventually happened. The brand was there and active enough. If it was your business, you need to know and be able to create experience. Social media has turned all these upside down. So you now have social marketing insights. The people that are doing the marketing in your company, what are the insights? Who knows what's happening at Facebook right now? Quick. You don't know? Yes. A professor asked for data, research data from Facebook. When he finished with the data, he ought to have destroyed it. He didn't, but sold it off to a company. The data was demographic population about the US. The company approached to react to it and monitor it. So all that data was given. The company now used that data and they started creating content that will cause disaffection on one side of the voting divide and plus on the other side of the voting divide. Okay? And all this happened in that period. It took somebody last week to come and say, this is what we were doing with the data, even though we were not authorized to do it, but that happened. So what am I saying? There's a lot of changes going on. You may think that it's not happening, but it is. And we're using real-life examples to show you. I read today, or was it yesterday, that for those of you that have Facebook app on your Android phone, or just using Facebook at all, Facebook are now saying you can actually go and you'll find out that what? All the phone calls you have made, Facebook has been tracking it. All the phone calls. Because now they have put a link where you can go and download the information they keep about you. Okay, so the time you called your grandmother in Iseyin, the number you called is there. Okay? So a lot of that is happening. And you can get social insights to that. All right? I always say there's a difference between permission marketing and forceful marketing. A lot of Nigerians do badging marketing. On WhatsApp, you are in a group, somebody just sends you 15 messages. Bang, 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 bang. Color, green. Oshun AAW52. Oshun AAW52AA. The owner's attention is urgently needed. Honda Accord, green. Plate number Oshun AAW52AA. Okay, so here's another example. 12 Force. Co-marketing. Collaboration. What did they say here? Somebody asked a question and that company's Twitter account said what? What did they say, right? Sorry, I have to always do this. Hello. Nestle. We all know Nestle, Abimilo. They had a big challenge. I'm not sure they've fully resolved it. But the perception in the media now was that they were using palm oil that was destroying the rainforests to make some of their products. Somebody on Facebook said, stop doing that. You are killing the rainforest. This was in a space of a few hours. All right? People started expressing their disgust at it. Igbo people in Nigeria, they say, just cut the palm oil and let's go, we'll make money. But guess what happened to Nestle? In a spate between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m., their stock market price dropped. Now that's a huge drop. 1.75% is a huge drop in one day. But that's how the conversation affected them. So those conversations, I'm drawing your attention to the fact that those conversations that happen will happen to your business online. Depending on who you are and what you do, it may make or mar your business. Okay, trendy again. So now social CRM is trendy. Which is the most trendiest social CRM? Eh? The most trendiest social CRM is Instagram. Right? You see people taking picture in private jets and posting it, and you wish, this guy don't hammer. All right? But he just rented access to the private, but you won't know. You see people go to boutique and try on clothes and take the picture there and send it to Instagram, slaying. But it's really not theirs. But it's the most trending that there is, and it's also one of the fastest growing around. Okay? But that social CRM process must become a listening tool for you. All right? And those listening tools are domiciled where? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, blogs, message boards, all right, and social data. I think yesterday, Ms. Plumtree talked about data mining on Google. If you've registered your business as a Google business, you can get insight into who is coming to your website and what are they looking at, and be able to create an opportunity or respond to an adversity from there. Again, I will emphasize, it's not about creating the social media platform. It's about what you do with it. And so, I would say, have your strategy. Develop your strategy. You can put those things in place, but understand what you want to do with them. It's about your business. So you are selling Gary. Do I need Instagram? I don't know. But you use WhatsApp. Abi, madam, are you using Instagram? You are using Instagram. How are you using? You just opened it. Okay? So that's exactly what I'm saying. What's the strategy for using Instagram to further your business? It could simply be by saying, we just shipped a container of cassava to Holland. So at the heart of it is human decision at any point in time. Remember, content what? Content creators and content consumers. All right? You as a content creator are interested in the content consumer, what he's consuming, what type of response he's doing. You must be in that community to understand it. Okay? So your marketing plan must overlay, your social media marketing plan must overlay your marketing plan. Okay? So the process, I'll simplify it for you. I won't talk too much. But listen to what your prospects or your customers are saying on social media. Have a plan for how you will use social media to respond. All right? At the other side is what? But it may not generate a buy response. The truth is that you need to understand how to use that to the entire marketing plan. Is it by what you call brand identification, which is that they recognize your business so that when they need something for your business, they remember that there's one business, I liked it, I'll go and check my like page and see whether their name or address is there. Okay? So that's the essence of the social CRM process. And that is what the big successful companies are doing now. Who knows the recent Coca-Cola marketing plan? They had a marketing event recently. What was it? World Cup. Nobody? Russia 2018. What did they say you should do? Meanwhile, Coca-Cola, because you have to tell Coca-Cola this is what they are doing. So meanwhile, Coca-Cola is filming. And I watched some people, thank you. He didn't know why he was hugging him. But the person who was hugging knew. And there were a few people that, I beg, please don't disturb me. I'm not interested. All right? So that's another way. And look at how they cleverly tied it to social media. What do? Upload that video. What does that mean? They are entering into your community. And they are able to what? Carefully control, manage, and present the image. For the people that are making the products and services, we need to learn as Nigeria that you need to carefully control your brand, who you are, how you are perceived. And if people are, okay, fine. People are talking behind you. You don't know what they are saying. Abi? In Elisha State, the lights, when you switched off the engine, the lights were still on. They didn't go off. So the next morning, all right, the battery ran down. We went to the battery charger, charged it. In the evening, the lights were still on. So what did this person do? This person went online, went to the Kia website, found a chatbot, and said, the chatbot said, how can I help you? Enter your issue here. Okay? When you enter the issue, a human person now took over and said, oh, yes, that's a known problem. We can either direct you to a mechanic. We can either direct you to a mechanic, or you can get a mechanic YZ. Now, guess what? In 20 minutes, that problem was solved. Okay? But that's, again, I'm explaining and showing you how the big companies are using social media for their marketing, and how you need to think very hard and be very clear as to what you want to do with your social marketing. Okay, Qantas is an Australian airline, New Zealand, I think. And their gap is small. They are on the ball. All right? They have prompt response. They use two-way Twitter. They have collaborative relationships. Personalization. They actually sent the customer a PowerPoint slide to show him what he needs to do to get a particular promotion on their website. Okay? And the customer felt important. They sent me a PowerPoint on how I can get a discount of 20% on a flight ticket. Okay, what can be improved? They can respond faster, all right? They can put that particular issue in the community so that other people can learn. They can build an advocacy program. The person now became an advocate for Qantas, all right? They know when they purchase. So a customer has purchased from you online. Saying thank you goes a long way. Just a mail saying thank you goes a long way. Twitter message, thank you for purchasing with us, goes a long way. And they collaborate with you. Okay? So these are the layering rules. Your business segment, the business rules that you have developed concerning that, your service level agreement, your promise to your customer that this is what you will do at this time and these circumstances. How do you measure your performance and the analysis of what is going on? Okay? So how do you create your CRM strategy? This is the way you normally create your CRM strategy, and your social media strategy will dovetail on it. So you look at the business function that you are, look at all the processes that concern it, look at the rules that you have set for it, all right? Identify the channels that your business will use to communicate with its customers, all right? Have structured, goal-oriented, and object-centric responses to the community. So don't wait for the community to create a community about you. You can create the community and ask them to join and be a part of it. Why? So that you can also have the opportunity to know that this is where they will be talking about my company. This is where I will be able to correct or help people to do that. Okay, the best social CRM model is you. That's the truth. You have heard so much about different people who have turned themselves into brands. They have told you here between yesterday and today how you need to develop yourself as a brand. And you are the person, okay? It's a long road ahead. It doesn't happen overnight. It will not happen in 2 weeks. It will not happen in 1 month. You must be prepared to walk through that Sahara Desert. It's only when you walk through that Sahara, you see somebody on Instagram, they have 20 million followers. It did not start yesterday. Okay? So be prepared. All right? So make the experience a continuum. Make sure that your customer is getting that same wow experience using social media constantly. Make it constantly. What will happen is that they will eventually become used to it. They will become used to you. All right? And will even if there is a problem, they will engage you positively and say, Madam, the gari you supplied to us, something was wrong. Sorry, I'm using your gari. All right? But because you have created a friendly environment with them, they are able to also give you insight as to how you are doing, which is more important. Okay? All right, so the key takeaways. Social CRM starts before social media. It starts here. It starts with you thinking about it before you create it. If you have created it, go back to the drawing board and think, how am I going to layer it on top of my marketing plan? What do I need to do? We're just scratching the surface. This is just the beginning. The other thing to note is that technology is evolving and it's changing. You have heard of augmented reality here today and artificial intelligence. Even though those are pretty tech things, but guess what? A few years from now, they will be commonplace with you. All right? So it's time to start looking beyond just social tools and look at it integrated with your business. Look at it integrated. So have a timetable for it. In the morning, I want to greet my customer. Good morning, customers on Twitter. In the afternoon, I want to post, this is what we did this today. Have a plan for it. Don't just wing it and go by the weather. All right? Technology is an enabler, but CRM is a strategy. Social CRM is a strategy. And it's built on technology, and you need to understand that. Okay? The frameworks and models are still adapting and changing, and they will continue to adapt and change. Right? So find what works for your company. You have to find what works for your company, and the end game to be to develop a social business. Now, many people have been successful about that in Nigeria, and that should be your own goal as well. All right? There's still a long road ahead, and I wish us well in that journey. Thank you very much. My time is up, so if you have any questions, I'll be willing to answer them after.
Thank you so much. Please put your hands together once again for... All right, we'll be going straight to the next class, but I'd like to announce once again, for those that have not signed up to receive all this content, I'd like you to please visit the website www.business.summitexpo.com.ng, please, so we can get all this, sign up and get all the content of this event. Of course, if you have not registered your brands and businesses, I'd like you to do that at business.summitexpo.com.ng so that we can be able to contact you. And of course, make sure you follow us on the social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Summit Expo NG so we can interact very well. We're going to be having the grand finale of the raffle. Thank you so much. My name is Shete. God bless you.
Hello?
Okay, hello. Good evening. Yeah, my name is Tosin Fakayode from Mind the Gap. We'll be talking about digital marketing, basically. I don't know. Are we together, please? Okay. So very quickly, let's just run through this. I want us to pay attention because marketing sometimes puts us off. And for this session, we will be having some technical terms that I want us to pay attention to so that we can get it as easy as possible. Search engine marketing works generally. We'll be looking at why it is different from search engine optimization. Then what you need to do to use search engine marketing effectively. The key principles to good practice, we'll be looking at that also. Then how to use segmentation in search engine marketing. Then also how Google AdWords works. Okay, so what is SEM? SEM